Hey everybody, Tom Zenner, OC Airport News. We're here to keep you up to speed on developments, exciting news, projects, and even the history of aviation here in Orange County. Thousands and thousands and thousands of pilots have been trained here. We're at Sunrise Aviation. This is one of their simulators, and we want to take you behind the scenes and tell you a little bit about the training, what goes into it, and just what's involved in becoming a pilot, whether a commercial, private planes, or whatnot. There's a couple schools right here on the airport lot that prepare people through thousands of hours of training to become a pilot. Michael, I can walk in these doors and just kind of feel the history. I know you've got some stories to tell, the plaques, the awards, the pictures of the pilots. Just when did this start? When did Sunrise Aviation become a thing here in Orange County?
The school started in 1978 by Bob and June Olson. He was an ex-World War II Marine pilot, and he liked the sunrises over the South Pacific. So when I met him in '83, he had folded up the business. So he had an office that was upstairs, and he had 3 tie downs. In those days, there was about an 8-month wait for a tie down. And so I bought his business for its debts, okay, and the 3 tie downs. I liked him though. He had a steerman, and he let me fly it, so that was great.
For anyone that wants to become a pilot in Orange County, the options are limited. This is the OG, right? This is the legendary place, right? But if you train pilots a specific way here, right?
Yes.
I know that you take pride in having them more prepared maybe than they would at maybe some other schools around the country.
Not sort of. Absolutely. Okay. The quality of flight training in the country is diminishing almost on a daily pace. It is lowest that I've seen, happening more quick, with the decline happening more quickly over the last 10 years. Okay.
And that's something that is tangible, that you see the difference. They're not as prepared. And then look, people watch the news, they see that there might be more accidents or things like that.
I don't know that it's actually showing up in the accidents yet, because to a large degree, the airlines, which are the accidents that get the news, right? The airlines pretty well police themselves. But what I do hear, and that wall of pictures over there is all the flight instructors who've worked here who now work at the airlines, is that the people who are showing up at the airlines require significantly more work than used to be the case. Okay.
So over 40 years, 4 decades plus here, how many commercial pilots have you cranked out here?
I have no idea.
Hundreds?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
When you say commercial pilots, that's somebody who has a commercial pilot certificate. Who's gone on to gainful employment with the airlines? That's not really my goal in running the school. It's just an obvious place as a landing spot. But this business is cyclical, right? So that hiring is pretty good now, was wonderful 3 years ago, right? Was abysmal in the late 90s. So it goes up and down like that. So I don't depend exclusively on people walking in saying, I want to be your pilot. Okay.
You look at a car from the mid 80s, it's totally different than a car now. The interior, the exterior, planes, commercial planes look very similar on the outside. How much has changed technology-wise, and how you've had to advance training and keep up with it, and how different is it from when you started?
Well, that's interesting. I think that you'll find a lot of people who say that it's remarkably different because we've introduced computers into the cockpit, and GPS resolves some of the earlier sort of awkwardness attached to aerial navigation. So people will tell you that it's changed. What hasn't changed is flying. Okay. If I had my druthers, I would teach everybody in gliders through solo, and then add an engine, okay? Because the engine is added confusion and complexity, okay? So that part of flying hasn't changed at all, okay? What's changed is that there's a lot more automation, and that's the direction in which we're heading. So it's clear that we will be fully automated sometime within the next, say, half century. That's obvious. People might be asking my kids, oh, your dad did what for a living? Taught what? Okay, because it'll be gone. But it's not yet, and the airplanes aren't close to it. But because of the computer generation, there is a sense amongst incoming student pilots that what they really need to do is simply learn to manage a system, not learn to fly. And that's hard to overcome. And that's what an awful lot of my competition likes to sell. I mean, there are manufacturers who will tell you that these new aircraft with these newly highly automated and digital cockpits are safer. They aren't.
Can you turn somebody that's been described as a bad driver into a good pilot?
Yes.
You could?
Sure.
Would it take extra hours?
No, it depends, of course, on what you mean by bad driver. Okay, so is that somebody who consciously breaks the rules, or is that somebody who simply can't control the machine? Because most people control the machine just fine.
Sure.
They just don't understand the kinetic consequence of driving around something at that speed that weighs close to a ton. Right? They don't understand the consequence of going wrong.
Right.
What you have to do when you teach flying is you have to teach consequence.
So there's hope for me.
Oh, without
There's hope.
Yeah. Okay. Flying is easy. Learning to fly is easy. Okay. Flying well, that's what these plaques are.
Sure.
These are aerobatic competitors. Flying well is hard. Okay. It takes lots of gas through the carburetor to learn to fly well. But flying itself is really easy. And then the big challenge is that flying safely is challenging. The huge majority, enormous majority of serious accidents in light aircraft are the consequence of pilot error, not of mechanical failure. Okay. You would think that, well, okay, there's an increased risk because you're up there, you have to be able to get back down, and machines do break.
Hey Joe, anybody that knows you knows that you have a love for aviation. It's embedded in you. And how about this place? Sunrise Aviation with the blue awnings, the flags. Does this bring back some memories for you?
Tom, this is a magical place. Michael Church is one of the 2 flight schools, Sunrise Aviation. It's where I learned to fly. The guy, to be an okay pilot is being the bottom of the barrel for Mr. Church. He likes aerobatic pilots, proficiency, really quality stick and rudder. But I've walked in that door 1,000 times. A lot of memories here, a lot of richness. One of the unique spots of this airport, Tom.
Yeah, you talk to people that go through flight training, you hear about hours, they're in the thousands of what it takes. My 16-year-old son is getting his driver's license. Right? I'm not sure if I'm ready to unleash him onto the roads, but flying's totally different. How many years is that? I know you go at your own pace, but for the amount of hours that you have training, how long does that take?
Boy, it ranges, but it boils down to the competency and at what point that you're proficient enough to fly. I remember the first time I soloed at John Wayne. Boy, it was an experience not to have an instructor next to you. You're communicating with air traffic control. You're coming around. I remember being coming around parallel, and there was a king air, and I decided to go around. I was nervous about wake turbulence, and my instructor snickered and laughed. But it's all part of the magic of aviation.
Yeah, because it would almost have to be natural to be a little bit nervous. I mean, you're up in the sky, you're controlling this bird, weighs a lot of, very heavy, carrying a lot of fuel. How about you? Did it take a while to get comfortable, or were you always comfortable in that cockpit?
It takes some time, but I'll tell you, there's an excitement, there's a magic. As I stepped through those doors every time, I knew something was going to be unlocked at this airport that I now understand. Another part of the airplane that I could command or control. It's this whole airport, just a beautiful thing how it all comes together, Tom.
Yeah, so you learned to fly right here.
Right here.
There's flight schools all over the country, all over California. Is there something different about Orange County and the training you get here?
Yes, where a lot of things may be textbook or theoretical, Mr. Church requires that every pilot of his demonstrate proficiency in actual spin training. It forces you to go up in an aerobatic airplane, put on a parachute, you take the plane into a spin, and then you learn to break the stall and pull it out. So it's a unique thing. Most flight schools don't offer that.
All right, most people are perfectly content just being passengers, getting on a plane, getting where they need to go. But if you've got the bug, if you've got the passion, this is a great place to learn. 2 flight schools right here in Orange County is going to give you the training and the knowledge and the experience to someday fly one of these all by yourself and experience those thrills. We'll put the descriptions and the links to these 2 schools in our video here, so check them out if you want to, and stay right here on this channel as we keep you updated on all the aviation news here at Orange County Airport.